Hey y'all. Hey Monique. I just needed some sugar because I was kind of tired. So I needed something that had some sugar in it. Some high fructose corn syrup. So I'll wake up a little bit. Uh, I'm waiting a few more minutes and I'm gonna tell you guys the confirmation that I got of my message from yesterday. Yesterday's live. Okay, South Africa. I got a lot. I think South Africa is my second or third biggest supporting place. I think that's so cool. I love that. I think it's the US, then the UK, then South Africa, or the other way around. My head is hurting so bad. I got the worst headache. Let me wait like a few more seconds. Hey, Chris. I hope it goes away too. I don't know why I'm getting one. So, um, if you guys were on my live yesterday, I was telling you guys how, basically, for a lot of you, there was some type of darkness following you in your bloodline. And it's like a generational curse. Sometimes it could be more than one that was just following you and it's been defeated. And I just got this overwhelming sensation of being like proud and like, yeah, like I feel finished. And last night I had a dream. It was actually a scary dream, but my mind didn't interpret it that way. I had a dream that I was in a house with all these people. A lot of them, we seemed to be really young, so like even like under 21. And basically we were trapped inside this house by like these demons. And I remember what the demon's face looked like. He had a regular man's body, but his face, like if you watch anime, how they depict a lot of their demons, or have you ever seen like there's an anime called Demon Slayer, how they depict a lot of their demons look a certain way. So he had like multiple sets of eyes and like some red coming down his face. He didn't look scary, and his smile was like a huge smile with all these sharp teeth in his mouth. But I wasn't scared of him in the dream. And basically, all of the people that were in the house, we were trying to be nice to him so he wouldn't he wouldn't kill us. And It was so weird. One of the demons was like a snake, but he was blind. He couldn't see, but he could smell really well. And something happened where we made this demon upset, this monster, whatever. We made him upset, and we were hiding from him. And he sent the snake looking fella to come find us, and we were all hiding in multiple different places, but I specifically was hiding in this closet. And I had my hair was out and it was naturally curly, and everyone was like, okay, let's cover our hair, because basically the way we escaped from the snake person was because all of us had our head covered. We all had our head covered and put our hair away so he wouldn't smell our hair, and he did not find us. And it's so funny because, and I don't remember everything that happened, it's a little blurry, but I just remember that the guy who had like the sharp teeth in his mouth and all the eyes, he got pissed off, so he left because his snake person couldn't find us, and they all left the house. Like they just ran out the house, like they just left. So we all came out, and it was like this hardwood floor in this old house, and we all just started celebrating and dancing and like stomping on the ground and dancing. And it's funny because the song, ironically, that we were dancing to was this song by NBA Youngboy. So I guess that was just like in my subconscious. I don't remember what song it was, but I just remember us stomping on the ground. And in my mind, I was thinking, like, you know how they say, like, you stomp on the devil because he's beneath you? So it was like we were stomping, we were celebrating, we were dancing because we defeated these demons. And it was so crazy. It was just really crazy. And it's funny. It's just funny because it looked so scary, but in my mind, I was not scared of these creatures in this house. I was not scared. And to me, that was a big confirmation, because for me to be feeling like that, something had been defeated, like something was lifted off of me and like this collective. And for me to have that dream was my confirmation. Something has been defeated. And I don't ever have dreams like that. Like most people would say, well, maybe that was just lingering in your subconscious. Like, no, I don't ever have dreams like that. I put out messages all the time. I can have a dream the next day about going to the beach. Like, my dreams have been very regular. Like, that was a very specific dream, and it was just crazy. So that was a big confirmation for me. So I feel like if I'm getting this confirmation, some of you guys may get your own confirmation. We talked about how you can ask God quietly, not by any electronics or anything. You can go outside, you can write it down, you can just pray quietly in your head, but you can ask God for your own confirmation. I feel like some of y'all are going to start getting confirmations of many different things, not just that you defeated something, but your blessings are on the way. And the reason that they can be on the way because this has been defeated. I wish I knew exactly what I did. Like, I wish I knew exactly what I did to defeat whatever this was. Because I don't even think I realized what it was. Or maybe y'all don't realize. Uh-oh. Shit. Maybe y'all don't realize either. But I wish I knew. I wish I knew. So I would probably say I would want that to be my next confirmation. Like, what was it? Like, why now? Why was it now that this gets to be defeated? Let them know, Monique. 96 people in here, 46 likes. Like, what's up with that? What's going on? Faith. Yeah, I could say faith. Consistency. For me, I took on my excess pain. I've been cleaning and healing my spirit. Divine timing. Yes, divine timing. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I still wish I knew. Like, I know these things. Like, I know it's consistency and faith and divine timing, but I feel like something was done divinely guided. Or maybe, like you guys are saying, maybe it wasn't anything specific. This was just the time. I don't know. But if it was something specific, I wish I knew what it was. I wish I knew. But yeah, I just kind of had a realization also, reading you guys' comments, that I feel like, how do I say this without people getting offended? I don't know if I get offended by what I'm about to say, but I feel like I'm helping some of y'all become like real spiritual warriors, because a lot of y'all are soft. Y'all are soft, okay? And I know that because I have that part of me too. Like, I'm a little bit of a softie, and my entire life I've always been kind-hearted, but growing up, I was really hot-headed. I was quick to anger. That's just my character, who I was. I was a no-nonsense type of person. And then around the time I had my daughter, I changed because I felt like I had to change, and I became too soft and too nice. And I wasn't mean at all. I didn't really have a backbone. I didn't really stand up for myself. I just was too nice. And I feel like one of my lessons was balance. Like, you can be kind-hearted, but you have to like have a backbone. And I let go of that part of myself that had that backbone that really protected me, because I felt like I had to be nice after so many years of being hot-headed for whatever reason. But now it's like a perfect balance. So I appreciate that. But I just be looking at some of y'all comments like, yeah, some of y'all are really soft. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, that's your lesson. You need to have balance. You need to learn that duality. Don't be too soft. Like, things in life are gonna happen to you to bring that other side of you out, because that other side of you is necessary, especially if you call yourself a spiritual warrior. You gotta have that other side of you, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some people will say things to me like for example, if somebody says something to me in the live that I don't like, and I respond, a lot of y'all will be like, don't respond, kill them with kindness, blah blah blah. And sometimes I notice that's like a something that irritates me more than the person who said something, like more than the troll. When somebody's like, why are you responding to them? That irritates me more than the troll itself, because I'm allowed to stick up for myself. If I want to say something, I'm going to say something. Like, and I know some of y'all don't mean anything by it, but it annoys me. And I see why that annoys me, because there's a part of me that did not stick up for myself. And now that I do, and I do it with intention, and I do it gracefully, and for people to still say something to me and try to correct me, one, I'm not good with authority, and I don't like being told what to do. One. But two, it's that part of me that's like, no, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to say something. Like, it doesn't matter who has an issue with it at all. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Like, no, don't say nothing to the trolls. But don't do that, because if it was y'all, if I see somebody coming for one of y'all, I would love to see y'all stick up for yourself. It doesn't make you weak to stick up for yourself. It doesn't make you weak if you decide to use your voice. It shows that you have boundaries, and you're not gonna take no mess. Okay? I don't even know where I was going with that, because I just got distracted. But let me see what y'all are saying. And then somebody says this, and I'm glad you said this, David, because it reminds me of something I've been wanting to say to y'all for a little while. this person that said, just let the Lord do it. And I'm probably going to do a separate live about this. But y'all, one thing I want y'all to understand, because a lot of y'all are very religious, and I feel like religion has warped your idea of God and what He is in your life. And to say things like, just let God do it. God, to me, is like a coach, and I'm the player. God is going to guide me. He's going to coach me. He's going to correct me. And He's always going to have my back when necessary. But you cannot call yourself a spiritual warrior. You cannot call yourself an enlightened being if you don't take responsibility for your own free will and your own actions. My God does not handle every single battle for me, believe it or not. I know they say that in church and it sounds so beautiful and amazing. I have to take action. There has been so many times in my life where God has sat back and watched to see what I was going to do. And that's necessary because I'm not a baby. And only way that I'm going to learn anything is by taking action and going through things alone. Just like with your kids. You cannot coddle your kids and you cannot hold your kid's hand through every single thing. You have to allow them to fly out the bird's nest on their own. Baby turtles, they have the toughest first seconds of life because they have to get to the ocean by themselves, and there are seagulls flying around trying to snatch them up. There's things that you have to be able to do on your own. And a lot of y'all y'all blame everything on God, and y'all blame everything on the devil. And you take no accountability and responsibility for yourself. God gave us free will for a reason, okay? You were given free will for a reason. And God is going to put you in positions to see if you stand up for yourself. Not saying these situations are that, but I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do. Okay? I can defend myself and God still have my back. I can defend myself against people my ancestors still gonna handle it. I see it happen every day. But a lot of y'all just feel like you just don't take accountability, responsibility for anything, and it's just all God, it's all the devil. And you got to understand that a lot of things that you go through is your higher self and your lower self. It's not just God or the devil doing this. Some of these things you're doing to yourself. And I said that to say, speak up for yourself. You're allowed to have a voice. You're allowed to have something to say. And if they don't like it, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So that's cute. And this is what I mean by saying a lot of y'all are soft. And you're going to have to grow a backbone one day. And you're going to understand there's going to be times in life where you're going to have to stick up for yourself, okay? You're going to have to do that. And that's okay. It doesn't take away from your journey or your message. And I feel like a lot of people just get spiritual people confused, and they feel like we're not allowed to say anything in defense of ourselves because we're so enlightened, and it's the complete opposite. A real spiritual being is just someone who's aware of their energy, and they do things with intentions. Everything I do intentionally. In the past, I didn't have any control over my emotions. So everything I did was in reaction to what somebody else was doing. They were pulling that out of me immediately. There was no thought process. There was no thinking. I'm not like that no more. I do things with intention. Okay? Nothing happened. I just, I like to have teachable moments. Teachable moments are important. No. And I'm not looking for validation. I'm not looking for somebody to tell me that what I'm doing is okay or any of that. I'm not looking for that. I'm just speaking my piece. No, funny. Not the ops in here. You're an op. That's so funny. Exactly. And that's why a lot of y'all, because I went through that season of just laying down and like, oh my God, God, where are you? And God's looking at me like, where are you? What are you going to do? You got to show up for yourself sometimes. I promise you. I promise you. I know it sounds all cute to say God gonna fight all my battles and God gonna be there. Yeah, he is. But where are you gonna be? Because at the end of the day, this is your life and you have to have something to show for it. You have to take action sometimes. And that's why a lot of people are somewhere sitting down depressed, getting mad at God. That's not God's fault. You're just not understanding that God is asking you to move. God has moved enough, and God may not even be able to move until you move. So you move. Let's see what you're going to do. Let's see what you're going to say. God can't do everything for you. There's nothing impossible for God, but you are his child, and if he does everything for you, you're never going to learn, you're never going to grow, and you're never going to amount to anything. Okay? Yeah, it is, but I wanted it to, so I could drink it. Oh, I can't see the letters. Yeah, it says you are op. Thank you for using them, though. I just think that's so funny. What about if somebody speaks up for you? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like I've never really had that though. The only person I've ever in my life seen someone actually speak up for me was my mom. And I've always been the person to speak up for others. Taurus are typically like that. We go crazy about the people we love, but the people we love don't usually go crazy about us. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And plenty of people speak up for me, at least now I can say, but in my real life, no. In real life, no. Social media, yeah. People speak up for me all the time. That's true. That's true. But yeah, that was just, I like to, when I learn something, I like to share something. And I just noticed, like, I guess that's part of me I have to heal from. I don't like when people tell me what to do. I just don't. I don't like that. I'm so terrible with authority. And because I can pick up on energy, I be catching the shade. So a lot of times people try to correct me, and they're not correcting me with love. They're correcting me to try to be funny or to be spiteful. And doing that will get you removed. So, yeah. Just because I'm a woman and I got a little adorable little face does not mean anything. Okay? And I'm not here to please anyone. So if you don't like it, you can pop out. God did not put that fire in you for no reason. Okay? He just wanted you to learn how to use it. That's all. That fire is there for a reason. Y'all are so funny. If you're just joining and you missed my confirmation message, it's at the beginning. If I have more to say about that, I will touch on it. I got kind of threw off because it was some commotion. But yeah, we can get back to it, y'all, in just a second. Yes, I'm not good with authority. If I wanted somebody to tell me what to do, I'll go get a job. I'm not good with it. I'm okay with constructive criticism. I'm okay with being corrected, but it's just that part of me I gotta work on. It's the teenage me is still there a little bit. For me, it's the fake gurus who want you under their wing, like we don't see what they're trying to do. That kills me. Yeah, and they're usually charging you something, or they'll do like the pyramid schemes. Yeah, I know. What does op mean? Op is short for opposition. It's like the enemy. So if I say you a op, that means you're the opposition. You're not for me. You have any advice on shadow work? Um, it's definitely not easy, and it's something that's going to require you to be very, very honest with yourself. You got to be prepared, excuse me, to be really raw and honest, because you're looking at the ugly parts of yourself, the unhealed parts of yourself, that shadow side of you. You're really looking at that for what it is. And you're basically like, it's about healing, but it's also about making friends with it in order to later have that balance. I would suggest you get a notebook, a plain notebook that you only use for shadow work. You can look up shadow work prompts literally anywhere. I have a blog post about it. If you go to my description box, it should be on this live. You can go to my blog. You can read what I wrote about shadow work. I think that would really help you. But I just want you to be prepared for how, as you're healing these parts of yourself, a lot of things are going to come up. And for those of us who've been through like a lot of trauma causes memory loss, and some old memories that you shoved away as a child may start to come up, and that may be hard to deal with. Excuse me. You're going to go through, you may have like little mini depressions. You may have like times where you get angry, where you get sad, and just know that's part of the process. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not going crazy. You're just purging that energy. And there's going to be some resistance, because if you've been living in your shadow side for a very long time, it's comfortable with you. It doesn't want to leave you. It doesn't want to go anywhere. And you're essentially getting rid of most of it and only keeping what you need, only keeping what's necessary. So it's going to be resistance. But just remember, no matter what you go through during that process, you're not crazy, okay? And it's completely, everything you're experiencing, all the emotions, everything is completely normal, and it's okay. Be there for yourself the way you would be there for a child. If you can look at a child, an innocent child who's having a hard time, who is having a bad day, treat yourself like that. Really nurture yourself through that process, and hold yourself. Hold yourself like a child. Nurture yourself. Really focus on self-care during that time also. Yeah. But it's mostly writing. It's mostly writing. At least for me, I think that's easier because I like to get my thoughts on paper. But you can also do shadow work. You can literally sit there and meditate and do shadow work because you're thinking and answering questions. But yeah, I hope that helped. Yes, take your time, go with the flow for sure. Yes, a lot of detaching. Yeah, because there's going to be resistance because you're becoming a new person, and change is hard. Change is hard. Change can be scary, especially if you're a fixed sign. So if you're like a Leo, a Taurus, Aquarius, or a Scorpio, shadow work is going to be the hardest for you. Or if it's really heavy in your like birth chart, it's going to be very hard because we're fixed and we don't like change. But it's necessary because it's about you it's supposed to pull you out your comfort zone. And if you're really into astrology, then you know about the South Node and the North Node. And it could essentially get you to your North Node, like it got me, which is your purpose in life, basically. You becoming closer to your highest self. And who wouldn't want that? But you don't just get that, you work for that. And you got to become a new you to get that. Been running away from it, but it's time. Yeah. And you never stop doing it. You're going to do that forever, which is good. It comes with a lot of self-awareness. You got to be really, really self-aware and take responsibility. I saw a post on Twitter and somebody was saying how a lot of people, a lot of what people feel like are mistakes are rooted in like the matrix. What the matrix tells us a mistake is, and it causes a lot of people not to accept responsibility or accountability. And you're gonna start to look, you're gonna be just completely different. Your mind is gonna be different. It's really gonna be healing, and you'll go through the ego death, but you're gonna understand, like, I have to take responsibility for my life. It doesn't matter what somebody did to me. I have to take accountability for who I am, because at the end of the day, your trauma does not give you an excuse to be a shitty person, period. It just doesn't. I don't care what you've been through. That's not the rest of the world's fault. You didn't ask for it, but you have to heal from that. And that's part of you reaching enlightenment and understanding that. Like, I have to heal from this. This is my responsibility to do this, no matter what. And you'll start to be more accepting and more loving towards yourself. And that's what it's about. You knowing who you are, you loving who you are, and you finding that balance. You're not just going to be one way. That's not the case. Most of us we have layers. We have layers. But it's definitely beautiful. It's just hard. Like, healing is hard, but so is not healing. Do you feel like someone can match your faith of God? You have very high faith, it's known. Because me personally, I never met anyone before, but I see how you love God. It's amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's people who have more faith, like their faith is higher than mine. And they show God love more than I even do. So I feel like it's definitely possible. And I feel like it could be even more. The journey is not for the weak. The Lord equips his strongest soldiers for the mission. You have to continue pushing. Yes. You might as well. You might as well, man. What else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? I'm so glad God gave us choices. Me too. Me too. And I'm glad God helped me take responsibility for the choices that I make. Because it has to be hard for people who blame the world and everyone else for everything and never look at themselves and never reflect. That must be really hard. Hey y'all. I missed some of y'all's comments. That's facts. Your feelings will definitely be hurt. Cause it's sad. It's like, man, I want to take you with me, but I can't. I'm not gonna be able to. That's one thing I do really love about God. Like, when somebody is not for you, you can try to take them with you. That's your right. That's your free will. You can try to take them with you, but he's not gonna allow it. He's not gonna allow you to be blessed. He's not gonna bless no mess. He's not gonna allow that relationship to thrive or that friendship to thrive. He's not gonna allow you to go anywhere. You're not gonna get too far. So Yeah, and I love that. I really appreciate that more than anything because it's a reminder to me. Like, yeah, God really does love me. If he sees that although I may have a good heart and I want to bring this person with me, or I want to keep on participating in this bad habit, it's not good for me. Just like an adult with a child, right? You tell your children things and they don't understand, and they get mad at you and say, "You don't understand me. You don't love me." My daughter tells me all the time, whenever she doesn't get her way, "You don't love me anymore." And it's funny because that's exactly how we are with God. We're like children. And the whole entire time you're questioning God and why he is blocking you, it's because he's protecting you and because he really loves you and he sees what you cannot see. So yeah, it hurts, but you'll understand. You'll understand one day why things had to be this way. I promise you, if you're trying to take somebody with you that's not meant to go with you, you're completely blocking your blessings and you're going to cause a lot of karma. And that is because God is trying to get your attention. Wake up. I promised you this, but I didn't promise you that you were going to get it and have these people with you or continuing doing these bad habits. I didn't say that. I said you can have it, but you're going to have it a certain way. And one day you'll look back and realize how harmful these people or that person or this decision, whatever it was that you wanted so bad, it's harmful to you. Oh, bless you, Viviana. Y'all be having the cutest names. Yes, yes. Love is a very just peculiar thing, but yeah. And I tell people too, like, it's always just best to let them go. Like, when your time is up with somebody, that's your confirmation. If it's not a yes, it's a no. That's your confirmation. It's time to let them go. Well, if you meet again one day, maybe. But if you are meant to be with this person, y'all are not going to be able to be together right now. And maybe sometimes you have to grow apart, you have to grow separate. That's not for all of y'all. I know that sounds all sweet and romantic, but that's not for everybody. If that person's toxic and abusive and has not shown any sign of any change behavior, it's probably not the person you're meant to be with. But regardless of that, it's definitely, you'll know when it's time to let somebody go. You know when their time is up in your life, and you just need to allow it, because as soon as you do, y'all, I'm telling you, as soon as you do, God is gonna bless you. I messed up so many blessings in the past. There was a time I despised God and didn't believe in him. It was very dark, but that's the past. I believe I changed, but others would say not. I'm sure plenty of us have went through that same thing, like turning away from God and not understanding what he was trying to do until you're out of it. It's just like a child with their parents. Same thing. Mhm. 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 The bigger the test, the bigger the blessing. Mhm. God is still there with open arms every time, just like a mom. Good moms. I know everybody doesn't have one, but just like a good mom or a good dad, They love you unconditionally. Every time you mess up, they're still there with you with open arms. Facts. I feel like that's the easiest way to look at God. If you don't have a relationship with God or you don't understand the concept of God, look at them like a parent. Because even the child has to take accountability one day. Facts. The smallest things can be the biggest blessings. Facts. Where are y'all seeing these angel numbers? Did y'all see them? Oh, you were just commenting. I'm like, where did y'all see this? 444 is the first angel number I ever saw. And the first time I ever Googled what it was, because I kept seeing it. And it was actually right before my life was about to change. Literally within like 2 weeks. Thank you, Miss Park. I'm just reading y'all's comments. My headache actually went away. I hope it stays away. I feel like if I get up again, it'll come back. Okay, we can do a Q&A, you guys. I don't think I have much else to say about my message on confirmation. I would just say I got my confirmation and I feel like y'all are going to get yours. And I also feel like some of y'all can benefit from asking for some type of confirmation. But pay attention though. Be ready to pay attention. And don't be like, if God sends you a sign, don't be like, well, I need a signy or sign. No. Take it for what it is. Accept it. And be ready too. You gotta be ready. Stay ready. That's like one of my favorite songs. Stay Ready by Janae Aiko. I love that song. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm a Taurus. That's my sign. How do I ask for confirmation? Excuse me. I suggest that when you do ask for one, like if you pray, especially if you pray out loud, then make sure you're not by any electronics when you do it, because these phones are always listening, and if you say something, they're going to show it to you, and I just don't feel like that counts. Or you can write it down in a journal, like literally say, "Dear God," and ask him whatever you want to ask him, or silently pray. But it's very easy. Just ask. Just make sure you're not around your cell phone. But yeah, if you missed my message, you can rewind it. But I kind of want to do Q&A. I like doing that with you guys because it helps me realize where everyone is and what everybody kind of needs. Yeah, it works. It works if you just say it in your head, for sure. It's definitely safe there. Safe inside your mind. I think that's what I do most of the time. Just ask for confirmation in my head. Yes, these phones are always listening. How vivid are your dreams? Do you feel pain, or do you feel anything when you're dreaming? I feel like I have felt pain, but maybe not in a long time. I feel sensations though. Or if I eat something, I can taste it. But I feel like they're pretty vivid, for sure. I can never remember my dreams. I try so hard. Any tips? I feel like if it's that hard for you to remember, it may not be a dream that you need to remember. There's nothing you can really do other than try to stay away from like a blue light for at least 30 minutes before bed. Like I would read something, not on your phone. Or I guess you could maybe put your phone in dark mode if you read on your phone. But try to stay away from a blue light before bed. And when you wake up in the morning, don't immediately grab your phone. Wait for a few minutes and just lay there and see if anything comes to you. But I don't always remember my dreams, and I feel like I'm just not supposed to. I got so many dreams though that I've written down, like hundreds. And sometimes they come true. This is why I write them down, because sometimes it could be a premonition I don't know. Do you have random dreams for other people or yourself? Or are you saying, do you have dreams that could be for somebody else? I'm kind of funny about that. I feel like it could be. It could be, but sometimes it could be your own subconscious creating like an idea of this person, but it could be. Like I've had a dream about something, and then months later somebody told me something, and I was like, oh, I had a dream that this was going to happen. But I don't think it was necessarily the dream was for them. I think God was just trying to show me, like, yeah, you have premonitions. Don't eat in your dreams. They say that, but I have never been able to stop myself from eating in my dreams, so I just let it go. I hear that all the time, not to eat in your dreams. But nothing's ever happened, so I don't know. You remember that live where you mentioned these 5 beings of light in your living room? I had one visit me during a meditation once while dozing off to sleep. Wow. Yes, I do remember that. I'll never forget that day, ever. I know exactly what day it was. I remember every single thing about that day. And surprisingly, I was not scared. I have dreams in my dreams. That's crazy. That's happened to me before so many times. Like, I've had several of them. Like a dream and a dream and a dream and a dream. It's freaky. Like, I've been in between a dream and like real life. I feel like, I don't know if any of y'all who are parents, especially if you have a young child, if y'all have ever had this happen to you, but I was so sleep deprived and exhausted that I was literally like, I can't even explain it, in between real life and a dream. It was crazy. I wish I could explain it, but it was basically like my daughter, we were laying in my bed, and I was trying to take a nap, and in the dream she asked for some chocolate cake and I gave it to her, but then it's like it kept repeating itself, but what I was seeing was my exact setup in my bedroom, exactly like that. And I just can't explain it, but it was freaking crazy. I hate when I do that. They are good. Yeah, I feel like it was definitely something good. At the time, I was thinking like angels, ancestors, something like that. And I know they were there for like healing and helping purposes because of what had happened right before. And I had went upstairs and I was just like really distraught and like crying. And I heard an owl right outside my window, like right after that. And it was crazy. And I never heard that owl again. It was like immediate. Like he was talking to me. I don't know what you mean by your question, Grace. The other night I fell asleep listening to your words. It was actually very soothing. I don't know what you're asking. I remember I kept having dreams. I know some of y'all remember this, about a stalker. And something else I want y'all to pay attention to. If you start seeing like synchronicities, like on your social media, for example, of certain topics, pay attention to that. Because I remember having dreams about a stalker, and it's like now I keep on seeing like synchronicities of like stalkers and things like that, like news articles and things I'm not researching on my own. They're just coming to me randomly, and that happens a lot. So just pay attention to certain things you see in the media, because you gotta understand, like, God and the people who look out for us, like our people on our spirit team, they're going to communicate with us the way they can for this day and age. 1,000 years ago, they didn't have social media, so they communicated with them the best way they can. Since we have social media, they're going to use social media to communicate with us. God is going to use social media to communicate with you, whether you believe that or not. And in nature, of course, but I just been seeing things like that. So y'all pay attention to what synchronicities you see on your social media. Not things that you're necessarily engaging with, but if you keep getting the same message over and over again, or you keep seeing the same thing over and over again, even if it's colors or animals or whatever, pay attention to that, because it could be something to it. I was doing a soul retrieval meditation and one showed up in my mind's eye and embraced me. It felt so real though with my eye. That's crazy. It's amazing. Yeah, I believe in deja vu. Someone told me once that deja vu means that you're in alignment. That's true. Use your discernment for sure. For sure. But just speaking of like the stalker thing, this is something I've been picking up on for a long time. And I came to the conclusion sometimes the dreams that I'm having, and somebody just asked me this, can you have dreams for other people? So that's crazy you just asked me that. I will say something, like if I share my dreams with you guys, a lot of y'all will be like, oh, this is happening to me in my real life. So I feel like sometimes I dream about y'all and y'all situations or things that may happen. But yeah, I'm not, what I know for myself in my life, everyone's life is different. First of all, it's not the first time I've had a stalker and I didn't manifest it. That's just something that happened. But second, I know if God is sending me a recurring dream over and over and over and over again, and it's not something I'm thinking about, it's just coming to me, there's a reason for that. It may not be for me, it could be for somebody else, but there is a reason. And a lot of times these dreams, like I don't know if you guys experience this, these dreams are connected. Like it's like after one dream finishes, the next night it'll pick up where that dream left off and it's telling a story, which is why I type it in my notes. And a lot of times it's not going to happen exactly like that. So if God is sending me dreams of a stalker over and over again, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen this way or this specific situation. It could just be somebody stalking me online, but God is trying to tell me something if I'm having this dream over and over again. And no one in their right mind would manifest something like that. These are just the facts of the situation. And also, you guys, when it comes to manifestation and we talk about like speaking certain things, yeah, words are powerful, but you got to understand, I always say, thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic. I'm not scared. Now, if I was scared and I was sitting around thinking about a stalker all day, I could probably manifest that. Your feelings and your thoughts and your intentions is what manifests something. Just because I say something doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It's how I feel when I'm saying it. Okay? I did know that about astrology, about the zodiac signs. I did know that. I don't know the name of all of them, but I did know the one about Taurus. I think Aries is God of War or something like that. Or I think it's literally called Aries, I'm not sure. I'm not saying this is happening to me. I'm just saying, like, I use that as an example because I want you guys to pay attention to things like that. Pay attention to stuff like that. Social media is one thing, but my dreams, I know when a dream is by now, when a dream is just something my subconscious made up, and when God is trying to tell me something. I'm not worried or concerned at all. Only person that should be concerned is whoever this person is, if this is true. I don't need to be concerned about anything, I'll tell you that. Spiritual people get gaslighted all the time. Spiritual people will gaslight themselves all the time, for sure. You just gotta learn from it. It happens. You gotta learn from it. You don't know something until you don't know. Or until you find out that you know. So but I don't feel any type of way about it. I just noticed I started seeing a lot of stuff on the internet about people being stalked, like even men, and it was just really crazy. Or gang stalking, and I don't know if people realize this, but gang stalking, you can do Fed time for that. Like a case like that can be taken to the feds, and I just want people to understand that if you do anything, like if you bring a group of people together and stalk somebody, that's not legal. And it is hard to try. It's hard to not only prove stalking, but it's hard to get somebody convicted. It's extremely hard. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It is very hard to get restraining orders against people and to prove that somebody is stalking you. But when it comes to gang stalking, that's very specific. And if you are getting a group of people together, attacking someone, and making up lies about them and putting them in harm's way, you can get in trouble for that. You can go to jail. Because you have created a whole operation. It's not just you. It's a whole operation of people. What's the motive? You got to be careful what you say. Because if you don't know, just because you delete messages out of your phone does not mean that the feds cannot recover them. And what you don't want to happen is you get to going off and they try you for like some premeditated murder or something because you didn't said something that you didn't have no business saying because you were upset. So I just want people to understand that it's all cute and funny until you lose your freedom because of what? You were jealous of somebody, you were envious of somebody. It's not funny, y'all. Y'all better stop playing. As hard as it is for those cases for people to be convicted, even alone, when you're talking about somebody who is one of God's, like this is God's child, there's nothing. God can wrap all of that up in 2 seconds. I done seen things like this in my real life. The unthinkable, the impossible. You think you'll get away with it, but God is watching, and nothing is more powerful than God. Archangel Michael. That's the one you don't want to play with. How do y'all know you're being gang stalked? Like, for the people who are saying this, how do y'all know that? Like, what's happening in your real life where you know somebody's gang stalking you? I'm just curious. I was gang stalked before a long time ago. I just didn't realize that's what it was. And honestly, I could have got a restraining order against a couple different people. And I just, at the time, like, I had just had a baby. I don't even think I even gave birth yet. I was going through a lot, and I just didn't even think that's what it was at the time. I was young. I was 19. But I realized, okay, that's what that was. I was being gang stalked. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Y'all have no freaking idea. And I'm asking y'all this because just like the person who said, like, spiritual people can be like gaslit. And this, I'm not, if this does not apply to you, don't take it, okay? Some of y'all, or some spiritual people, can be paranoid and think things are happening that are not happening. And that is what you call spiritual psychosis. And I don't want you guys to, like, especially for my people who watch a lot of messages or watch like tarot and things like that, you will manipulate yourself into thinking that something is happening that's not actually happening to you. It's just something in you felt like that was happening, and you've been seeing several messages, and if you see the same message over and over and over and over and over again, you have convinced yourself that that's what's going on when it's really not. And it can be good or bad. It can be something good. Like, you have seen these good messages over and over and over again, and you have now convinced yourself that that's your story when it's not. That's why it's important to go within and, like, self-reflect and, like, and honestly take breaks from watching messages like that, because you'll be experiencing like some type of spiritual psychosis and you won't even know it. So y'all be careful. But that's why I asked. You don't have to share it, but that's why I was wondering, because somebody needs to hear that. Like, is this really happening to you? Or is it something that you convinced yourself? But like I said, if the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it. Don't attack me. Is what I said. I'm just saying. That happens to people. Y'all be careful. But don't live in fear. Like, I walk around like I can't be touched, because I can't. So I'm not afraid of any of that. I think things like that is like funny. Like, even if I think like intuitively something like that could be going on, I'm not going to give it too much energy, because if that's really what's going on, God is going to reveal it to me on his own. I don't need to sit around and obsess over it. Like, if I'm like, I keep getting this feeling that this is going on. All right, I'm going to let it be. I'm going to walk around, la 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 la, like I can't be touched, because I cannot. And hey, whatever happens, happens. Let's get it. I'm not really too stressed about it. It's either going to happen or it's not. I can't really be too worried about it. Somebody cut your brake light and stole your license plate? Jesus. I have no problem staying up to the guys. What do I do when a gal gets in my face? I mean, unless she puts her hands on you, I feel like you're just going to have to be the bigger person in a situation like that. You can't, like, you got to think, y'all, because I don't want nobody getting locked up. In the court of law, judges make the final decision, and they'll use the laws, but they don't always follow the law. If you punch somebody in the face because they got in your face, if a judge wants to convict you with assault, that's what he's going to do. Like, some situations you got to just, like, it's not worth your freedom. So I don't know if you mean that literally or figuratively or whatever. If somebody's getting in your face and you're a man, and let's say you're a man and it's a woman getting in your face, I just feel like you have to chill unless she puts her hands on you. Because it kind of shows a sign to me of, like, while that may be disrespectful, it kind of shows a sign of weakness. Like, you can't control yourself. Even if she's wrong, what do you think's going to happen if you hit her? Because if a judge thinks to themselves, well, why do you control yourself? You hit her, you just broke her nose and fractured a bone in her face. Yeah, I'm going to have to give you time for that or some type of punishment. So, I don't know, but I feel like the best thing to do, because you gotta know the laws of your state also. The best thing that you can do in any situation, male or female, unless somebody puts their hands on you, you gotta try to chill as much as you can. Okay? Calm down as much as you can in real life. He may turn the other cheek to two men or not really two women. I've seen two women fight and go to jail. So it just depends. I feel like they're probably more lenient when two men fight versus when two women fight. If two women fight, they're probably going to go to jail. Two men, they're probably not. It just depends on a lot of different things. But yeah, just be careful because it's not worth your freedom. Like, I don't feel like nothing's worth my freedom but my child. Like, if it's not about Callie, I really don't care. You would have to do something to my child to even get that type of response out of me. Because otherwise, I don't care. I'm too cute to go to jail. And they don't serve hot wings in jail. So I just will not be going there unless it's about my child. And that's what I live by, and I'm going to forever live by that. And I feel like it'll keep me out of jail. And that's just what it is. That's all I can promise God. I will stay out of jail as long as it's not about my child. That's the agreement that we made. Dreams can't happen in real life. They're an unconscious manifestation of your mind. It's actually not true. I've dreamed about a lot of things that have happened in real life. I've had a dream about something that happened the very next day. I feel like you probably just don't have that. That's not one of your gifts, but dreams happens all the time. But we kind of got sidetracked. So if you guys want to like do a Q&A, and I don't want you asking questions about me necessarily, unless you're doing some type of school project on me or some type of 5-page essay on my life. You don't really need to know certain things. Some of y'all are just being nosy. But if you have questions about spirituality or mental health or healing or anything pertaining to that, I can answer that because it'll be helpful to you and other people. But anything outside of that, let's try not to like ask irrelevant questions, because some things just don't matter. Like, why do you need to know that? I love seeing all my members in here. Shout out to my members. And I'm pretty sure everyone who's a member has been a member since day one. I think I have like 26 members. Like, can we get 30 members? I would really love that. I be wanting to say certain stuff and I just I be biting my tongue. I really be biting my tongue. Okay. We're just gonna keep biting our tongue, y'all, best we can. I wanna say thank you for being your lovely soul. Thank you. Is it Tiaria or Tyria? Man, some of y'all be smoking that good-ish. This is all I'm gonna say. Some of y'all is smoking that real good stuff. Okay. I don't want no I don't want to participate in it, but you keep doing what you're doing. Hello, I from Russia. Hey, Russia. Oh, I love that. I'm just reading y'all's comments. What I do? Oh, there it is. Y'all, you know what we need to do tomorrow? We need to do the call-in again like we did last time. But I think I'm going to use a different phone and see if that helps. Because last time I was using my daughter's phone, and it was an old Android. But I have another iPhone I can use. And I think we should do it tomorrow. We should do the call-ins and see how it goes. Y'all don't be messy though, because last time y'all was being messy. I'm gonna have to do rules or something. Like if you call, like basically like we did like a spiritual tea, and I would give y'all a number to call, and you would call in while I was on live, and we would talk on live. And it was so chaotic last time. But y'all can't call. If I already talked to you, you can't keep calling back. You can't be being messy and just saying stuff. They're getting rid of AMP, which I only did like twice. So we're not going to do that. It was like a radio show called AMP. My first session I did was fun. The second one was not. Nobody came. Everyone came to the first one, but no one came to the second one, but like 3 people. But I'm not going to use that anymore. So I'm going to just try it again and just see how it goes. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna wait just like a few more minutes because I don't see any questions, which is a good thing. Yeah, so Amazon has an app called AMP where anybody can have their own radio show, and they're getting rid of it. So I was trying to use that instead of the call-ins, but since they're getting rid of it, I won't be able to use that anymore. So we're gonna try to do the call-in on the phone. So I'll give y'all a number to call and see what happens. I would prefer people call in who are just like it's okay if you call in just to say hey, or if you have a question, but don't be trying to be funny. And I know I'm gonna say that and people are still gonna do it, but whatever. What was a key point of your spiritual journey? Okay. I feel like I want to say last year. I'm finna sneeze. Last year, I feel like I kind of lost a lot. And I feel like it was very intentional. Like I lost a lot of people. And also removed people from my life who were not being good to me or reciprocating the energy I was giving them. So I removed a lot of people from my life. I lost a lot of people from my life. I feel like last year the devil was on me heavy. Like, I don't know what it was. You know what? It must be this. Because this is all before I started my YouTube channel. Like, right before I started my YouTube channel. So I would say last summer was a really turning point for me because I lost a lot. And I went through a lot of traumatic things. It was just really rough. And God was really trying to get my attention. And it led me to this, like, starting this channel. But it was basically my isolation period. And I had like a pretty successful business. I tell you guys, I used to have a clothing line. It was going really good. It was really successful at the beginning of last year. And I kept getting scammed. Like, it was just a mess. I was getting scammed by people in like Chicago and Atlanta. I was owing so much money. The vendors I was working with were scamming me and taking from me, and was basically because I was doing so many big orders at one time. They were taking my money and not sending out like products to people or sending them to me, which like I just lost a lot of money. And I basically had to shut down my business completely and start over, which was really hard for me because I worked so hard on that and it just was destroyed in seconds. I experienced a heartbreak that year. I was having issues with like my daughter's dad. We were going through a lot. That wasn't a heartbreak, but it was like we were having issues. We weren't even speaking for a really long time, which really like affected my daughter. I was really isolated and I lost a lot and I basically had to start over. So this was like last summer and God pretty much isolated me, and I think it was like God was isolating me and trying to get my attention at the exact same time that like I guess like the devil, the enemy, whatever you want to call it, was like really on me heavy. And I feel like now looking back, maybe trying to stop me from doing what I'm doing now, because God saw where I was going, but so did the enemy. So I feel like it was like two things coming at me at once, and it was really hard on my mental health. But I just kind of kept faith because I couldn't stop. Like I had to keep going. So I just kind of kept faith and remained consistent and tried to stay as positive as I could. Even through my circumstances, I tried to like put on a happy face and remain positive, remain focused, like just keep going, like I tell you guys to do, because I knew if I let myself like fall, it was really going to affect my daughter, and I just could not have that. And I was really alone. It was just me. That was just me and my daughter. It was no one else. Every once in a while, people would pop in and out of my life, but it just, my mental health was not in the greatest space. And as I started to heal and focus like on self-love, that was a really big game changer for me because I understood what God was trying to tell me. Basically just to kind of find out who I am and love on myself before he presents me to the world. And it was just one day I decided to record a YouTube video because I felt like God was telling me to do it. And I couldn't shake the feeling, like it was over and over. And again, at that time, I was getting synchronicities. I told you about the synchronicities on social media. God will use those. I was getting a lot of synchronicities on social media about putting myself out there and using my voice. So it was that. And then I started getting to astrology and like quantum mechanics, I tell you guys. And I started looking at my birth chart and reading it and understanding what it was telling me, which it was also telling me that I'm in this life, I'm meant to use my voice. So all these things were happening like around, I want to say like October, no, not October, happening around the end of the summer. So like August, July was when I was starting to pick myself back up and basically deciding to use my gifts. And I did. So I feel like my biggest game changer was the isolation period and me losing everything. Because I feel like God stripped me down to nothing on purpose to not only get my attention, but also so I would basically transition into this new version of me. I'm not the same person I was. Like back then, I was like a real girl boss. And that part of me is still there. But I was a huge girl boss, super hustler, didn't sleep for real. I just focused on business constantly. That was my focus. And God was like, all right, sit down. You need to sit down somewhere. This is not even what you're meant to be doing. Like, yeah, you're meant for success, but you're not meant for this type of success. So God was like, okay, well, I'm going to take this from you. I'm going to get your attention because I tell you guys, like, sometimes it's just not about you. It's about the people coming behind you. And I feel like ever since I started my channel, I have like touched millions of people. And if God knew this entire time that I was meant to speak to millions of people and help this many people, yeah, if you got a big purpose, those lessons are going to hit harder. And if he didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to even speak or touch this many people or help this many people. So I felt like it was important. So yeah, isolation. Isolation. That was a lot though. It really showed my strength because that was a lot. It was a whole lot. That was hard, especially being a mom. That's what made it harder. Like, your world falling apart and you're a mom, or even if you're a dad, whatever, that's hard. That's really hard. But I did it. I did it, and I just feel like it shows how strong I am, and it just makes me feel like I cannot be messed with. I'm really untouchable, like, period. Whatever was trying to get me, I literally, like, made it my bitch, because that was hard. That was super hard. And I'm glad I did it. What's the name of that meditation? Um, Release what no longer serves you. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. You can look it up on literally any major music website. Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, everywhere. TikTok. Y'all use my sound on TikTok. Use my sound on TikTok, y'all. It's on there. All you gotta do is search it. It'll come up. Release what no longer serves you. I have tried StreamYard. I need to do a practice, but I'll try it. Y'all been asking me to do it. I'll try it. Oh, I'm sorry that you lost your significant other. I can't even imagine. Yeah, 2022 was really bleeping hard. That was like, and it wasn't even just 2022. It was like 2021. Actually, 2021 was not that bad. I noticed for me, and I hate this, it's like, I don't even want to say it, but it's always a certain time of year. It happens every year, a certain time of year. I go through the worst, most intense things, and it's all about how I handle it. For sure. Same thing happened this year. I went through the most intense, stressful part of my life, and I got out of it, but it's like always the same time of year. I don't know why, but I just something I noticed. I feel like 2020 was the best. 2016, if that was a long time ago, was the best. I was a child and I didn't have responsibility. But 2020 was probably the best in my adult life. The end of 2021 was really, really good. The beginning of 2022 was awesome for like 2 seconds, and then it sucked. 2023 so far could have been better, but it was still very eye-opening. And I think from now on things will be a lot different. I think everything is starting to look up a little bit more. I just went through a lot of changes this year, but I also reconnected with a lot of people that I lost, and I understood, like, okay, I understood why we could not be around each other at that time, and why our relationship was having issues at that time. That's why I tell you guys, sometimes you'll lose people through isolation, but that doesn't mean they won't come back around. So I've reconnected with people I never thought I would. So that was like probably the highlight of this year. Oh, thank y'all for your encouraging words. I mean, a lot of people aren't meant to come with you. And there's been people who've tried to come back, and it's like, no, access denied. Mm-mm. But I appreciate the relationships I have now, for sure. Like, I can kind of tell who will never be in my life again, and people who I can see us having a conversation, even if it's not about us being like the best of friends or having some sort of relationship. I can see me having a conversation with those people. But some people, no. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, period. Don't even think about it. Sorry, I know that was a long-winded answer to the person who asked. I tried to reconnect with my best friend today. How'd it go? What happened? Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. Man, that's a long time. I mean, you definitely can't force people to be in your life if they don't want to be. Some people you gotta love from afar and just accept them and just accept their feelings. Even if you don't agree with it, you just gotta accept it. And it's crazy. Like, I didn't have friends. I just knew we were gonna be friends forever. And I just think it's funny now because, like, in the end, it's like y'all wasn't even good friends. It's crazy. I was around the type of people who felt like just because I wasn't there for every conversation and a lot of the betrayals were behind my back, they were good friends. Because most of the betrayals weren't in my face. But it wasn't even just that. It was just the fact that, like, people just, for some, they want to be so passive aggressive with me and say little slick, shady things to me that I didn't catch until later on. Like, it's just, I don't know. It was just weird. I was just around a bunch of weird people. Like, and I just cannot be around people who just are cool with certain things I'm just not cool with. Like, certain things are just about, like, morals. And even if you have, like, another friend that I'm not friends with that, like, does some, like, low down stuff and you think it's okay, it's like I can't really trust you because obviously your morals are not in the right place. If you can be cool with somebody who does something that low down and then come in my face, like, at that point you're agreeing with it. I don't know. I got a lot of trauma with friendships, y'all. If you cannot tell, I talk about that all the time. I'm still working through it, to be honest. I got a lot of trauma there because don't get me started, y'all. It's just so frustrating. Like, relationships is one thing, but like friendships is just like, why do I keep getting presented with the same, it's like the same version of people in different bodies? Like, why? Yes, it was no loyalty. It was no loyalty. It was no loyalty. It is what it is, though. It's not so much about like them, more so like about, I just wonder what the future holds for like, for friendships. And not even, and I say friendships, like I feel like women, we need like those girlfriends. Even if it's one, like we need girlfriends. Just like guys, y'all need like, I don't want to say boyfriends, but y'all need y'all homeboys. Y'all need that. It's not just about you being in a relationship with, you know, a romantic relationship or having your person. Like, you want to have community. You want to have people you can relate to in a different way, people you can be yourself with, and they'll understand you. And for so long, it was like, okay, I'm thinking these are my people, but you're not my people. We've just been around each other for so long. You're not really my people. I don't really like talking about this because it kind of irritates me because, man, like, I really let people play in my face for a long time. And I have to forgive myself for that. And slowly but surely I am. But it's just like, bruh, the audacity. The audacity. Mm, I can spit. No, they're definitely not getting to me. Definitely not. I just think it's funny. And I wonder what my karma is of surrounding friendships. Like, I have the worst experiences with women. And thank God for my spiritual teacher, because we have the same, we have a similar story in that regard. So I don't feel alone. I don't feel crazy. Like, I have the worst experiences with women. The worst. And I hate that. What do you do outside of this channel? Jobs, hobbies. Well, I do not have a job because I do not have a desire to work. I do YouTube. I talk about me doing gardening. I love to write. I write a lot. Um, I do I do my spiritual meditations with you guys. So if you're assuming, if you're new here, I make like spiritual meditations, but I think it's really fun. And I put them on like Apple Music and Spotify. I shop a lot and spend time with my daughter. I feel like that's pretty much it. I feel like these days I do a lot less though. I do way less. And a message my spiritual teacher gave us also, she was talking about how like a lot, if you have been asking to be tapped more into your feminine side, don't feel bad if you can't do as much. Like, I just hustled for so long that now it's like I do less, and the less I do, the more rewarded I am. So I try to keep it simple and just do things that make me happy. So spend time with my daughter. Huge, so big on self-care and like buying new skincare products, like anything beauty related. I think that's so fun. Try to garden as much as possible. And my eye is twitching. That's been very therapeutic. I really enjoy that. Cooking, I love to cook. Baking, shopping. Anything that requires me to just have fun and just be a softer individual and not hustle so hard, that's what I like to do. Because I asked to be more in my feminine energy, and that's what I'm doing. So I have to do a little bit less these days, and I love it. I love it. It's better than anything I've ever done. I still got my clothing line. I still got my clothing where I do my merch for my channel, but it's not the same way it was with my other business, because that was like my baby, and it was like constant going, going, going. Now I'm in a place where I can really rest, and I can really do whatever I want to do, and I love it. It's fun. I will say this, I have been looking up art classes in my city, and there's a few of them I'm gonna do with my daughter, and I feel like that's a new hobby I'm gonna get into, like just doing like little fun art classes and going to like cooking classes, things like that. And I'm gonna try to take her whenever she's with me. So that's a new hobby, y'all. What do you think of a male having a female best friend? I don't think anything is wrong with that. Who is your teacher? I do not share that information. I keep that private. And I keep it private because there's a lot of religious people and Christians who come across my channel, and she is not that. She is very different and like eccentric in herself, and I do not want any of y'all attacking her and trolling her the way that y'all do me, because she's on a completely different level than me. So I don't share that information. I've never even brought it to her attention or asked her if I could, but I don't because of that reason. Maybe one day. I just know if I do share the information, I got permission, but I don't share my spiritual teacher's information because the way y'all treat me, I don't want to see y'all do that to her. Yeah, I don't want to see y'all do that to her, or the trolls do that to her at all. But yeah, she's just a very brilliant person who has been a huge blessing in my life. I have had the worst experiences with women too. In retrospect, if there's any insecurity there, they may take it out on anyone who's okay with herself. Yes, I agree. I agree, but I also think now it's so much different because I tell you guys how, or I've told you guys, coming up around these same individuals, I was more so humble. Like I stuck up for myself when necessary, but people immediately, especially women, little girls, recognized something in me that they felt like was different. So they tried me a lot, and over time, it made me simmer myself down because I felt like, well, if these people are getting triggered by my presence, I must be the problem. So I simmered myself down, and I was kind of, for a period of time, one of those people who like jokingly would make fun of themselves and make themselves like the butt of the joke before anybody else could, because it was a constant, like you can't say anything nice about me. You can't compliment me. You can't show me the love that I give y'all, because some insecurity in you, but also it made them, I guess, uncomfortable when other people complimented me or I got some sort of attention, so they would never do it. Never. I would compliment them all the time, give them love all the time. They just refused to do it to me. And it just, over time, I realized, like, okay, obviously y'all are jealous. I'm just going to call it what it is. But now, since I'm like aware of who I am and my energy, and I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm going to not be so humble, I feel like there comes a certain level of respect with that. So there's going to be women who try you when you love yourself, but I feel like the more you love yourself, the more people are like respectable of that. And I think those people just noticed there was a part of me who did not love myself, and they enjoyed it. And they knew, well, I could pick at her, I can say things to her, because she doesn't really see herself for who she is. I see myself for who I really am now. So I'm standing in my power. So it's kind of hard for anybody to try me like that now. So, Apple Music, on any platform, my name is This Spiritual Baddie, on any music platform. But you're better off just looking up Release What No Longer Serves You, and my name is going to pop up. So TikTok, Instagram, like if you want to put it on your Instagram story or use it as a TikTok sound, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon, whatever, all of them. I don't even know. I think there's like 30 of them. Literally anywhere. I have a charity I'm developing with God's hands. I love that. I'm waiting on that online business that just hits. I've had an Etsy shop for over a decade. I make a few dollars off of Amazon here and there, drop shipping notebooks. I love it. I love the consistency. You never know. Tomorrow could be your day. Facials, mani-pedi, the whole 9 yards, Starbucks, mall, sky rises, finest of the finest. Um, Minus the sky rises, because I don't stay in a sky rise, but it sounds about right. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's the finest of the finest, but anything for self-care, I just love it. I just think it's fun, and I'm getting back into it now. There was a time I couldn't do it, so now I'm like, all right, well, I'm out here. Yeah. I just do what makes me happy. Even if that means I want to lay in bed and watch movies all day, that makes me happy, I'm going to do it. I just love the freedom of it, that I get to do that. And it's not even like, it's like I allow myself to do that. Because there was a point in time where I felt like if I wasn't doing something productive every day, I was a waste of space, basically. And God kind of like taught me to be more feminine and understand my value in just being me, and that if I'm resting, I'm still valuable. I don't have to be hustling constantly to be of value. I can rest, I can take breaks, I can literally do nothing. Like, feminine energy is really important, and like tapping into that as a woman and allowing yourself to be just a little bit more soft, no matter what your career field is extremely important for your mental health. I'm 24. I'm 24 years young. Yeah, you gotta release guilt. Yeah. So I said you can look up "Release What No Longer Serves You" on Apple Music or Spotify, and I'll come up. You could type in the spiritual baddie, and it could come up, but I'm not sure. Let me see something. Okay, my phone's gonna die soon, so I'm gonna be on for like a few more minutes. I'm gonna wait till it gets to like 10%, and then I think I'm gonna hop off. Okay, I'm praying for you. Yeah, I had to release guilt, because at the end of the day, freedom is what we're chasing. It's not just about chasing money, it's chasing freedom. And that's what I'm heading towards. Like, I want to be free. I want to have options. I want to decide, like, and I'm not even 100% there yet. I'm not 100% there. But I want one day to be able to, like, every day I can decide what I want to do. I'm not forced to do things because of X, Y, and Z. I'm free to do what I want to do. And that's important to me because I don't want to miss out on time with my daughter. And I feel like a lot of times when I was hustling, I missed out on moments with her because I felt like me trying to make money to support her was more important, and it wasn't. That's not what's most important. So it's like now it's like, okay, we can play and have more fun because I'm not constantly in my phone handling business. I can just be a mom. Do I sing? I can do a little something. Do a little bit. What time do you go live? I'm trying to go 9:30, trying to go live at 9:30 Eastern time every night. That's what I've been trying to do, and I've been doing a good job. But if I skip a night, don't worry. But I'm trying not to skip a night. If I do skip a night, I'm at least try to replace it with a video on my main page. Yeah. Yes. That's the dream, that's the goal. Do what makes you happy. I want to always have like my own money for sure. Always. Because of course I would teach my kids, like, no matter what situation you're in, make sure you have your own sources of income. But the goal is to use your gifts, whatever you're gifted at, and monetize that because it's not going to feel like work. So always have my own money, but still have freedom. I'm gonna have to drink some tea. Like, my throat is sore. All right, so any last questions before I get off the live? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Question: I'm a Christian to my soul, but I was told someone is performing white magic on me to protect me from dark magic they can see being done to me. What are your thoughts about that? Me personally, I would side eye that a lot. I don't know who told you that, but that would make me extremely uncomfortable. Like, I would question that. Like, one, how do you know that? I've never even heard of white magic before. I've only heard of like dark magic. Not saying that there isn't people who do like magic and things like that in the name of goodness. Like of course people do that, but I didn't know it was called white magic. I personally would just side eye that. That's my thoughts. Like that's crazy. But I feel like that's a situation where you maybe need to pray. I would probably pray about that. Um and ask God to reveal to you the truth in this situation, because I'm just a little bit unsure of that. Like, I believe in people doing things like that, but why would somebody be doing white magic to protect you from dark magic? Like, who is this? I got questions. Like, who is this person? I need to know. Who is this person? How did they say they knew this? I would question it. I wouldn't even believe them. I just feel like God protects me from things like that. Who's more powerful than God? Like, God is protecting me from stuff like that. What does it mean when a lot of people from the past start calling you and checking in on you? It could mean that you're about to level up. People can smell money, they can smell a blessing, so it could mean that you're about to level up. For sure. I feel like that's what it always means for me. Like, I feel like when people start hitting me up at one time, something is about to happen. Because people can feel it. Even if they don't realize they're feeling it, they're feeling it. Because it's kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, man, all these people are hitting me up at one time. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm going to give Seer a few minutes to answer if you want to. If you want to tell me how did this person get this information? Like, how do they know that this is being done to you? Like, that's just crazy. I've never been through that. No one's ever told me that before. This is something I could feel on my own. I wouldn't need anybody to tell me. And that's like, okay, 2 people doing magic on you at one time. Like, that sounds like a lot. And I just feel like if something like that was happening, God will be able to protect me from it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe the white witch is a dark witch. She could be lying. And then if you give her consent, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. He was another prophet. If you're saying another prophet, are you saying that you're a prophet yourself? And if you are, you should be able to tell if somebody's doing that on you without their help. But if you're not, I would go to God. Either way, I would be praying and asking God to reveal the truth of the situation, because I wouldn't trust it. Whether they're telling the truth or not, I would never give anybody consent to do magic on me. And that just sounds kind of like crazy. Nothing against the white witches, but that sounds kind of crazy to me. How do I define God? I feel like God is love. That's how I would define God. They said this person isn't Christian, but they see what other witches are doing, so they're counteracting their spells. I gave you my opinion. I can't even repeat myself because my throat is hurting, but I gave you my opinion. You need the truth revealed to you, because I would not be listening to other people. Like, no one could ever come to me and tell me something I do not already know about myself. If something like that is happening to me, I already know it is. And in order for someone to even pick up something like that, they would have to be like tapped into your energy. So me personally, I just wouldn't consent to any of that, and I would ask God to reveal it to me and then protect me from it. And I wouldn't worry too much about it. Don't live in fear of it, because if you're afraid of it, that's activating it. I told y'all, I always say to y'all, your belief is the magic. Magic only works if you believe in it, period. But on that note, you guys, I'm going to hop off the live. I'm going to get some rest. Y'all get some rest too. I hope you enjoy your weekend that's coming up. And I should be back tomorrow. But if I'm not, don't worry. But y'all pray tonight. Y'all cleanse your energy. Take a bath, take a shower. Whatever you need to do to cleanse yourself and your mind. Tonight, I feel like is a really good night to meditate before bed. Even if it's just for like 10 minutes. I feel like tonight is a good night. Just to kind of give you like a spiritual reset. But I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.